जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधाकांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कंचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। तुलसी राधे गोलोकानंद भगवान की जय। श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। कृष्ण 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 कृष्ण
Recording progress.
Hare Krishna. So we are on Adhyay 50th, and yesterday we read Shlok 7th. And this is after Akrurji comes back to Mathura, and then in Mathura, Kansa's wife, they go to their father's place, which is Jarasangh, and Jarasangh, after hearing that Kans has been killed, he gets very upset and he starts attacking Mathura. That's what we are reading right now. Anishyami balam retad bhuvi bharam samahitam magadhen samanitam vaishyanam sarvabhubhujam अक्षोहिणी संख्यातम भटाक्षीश्वरथ कुंजरे मागधस्तु न हंतव्यो भूयः कर्ता बलोद्धरम्. The Supreme Lord thought, since it is such a burden on the earth, I will destroy Jarasangh's army, consisting of Ashakunis, of foot soldiers, horses, chariots, and elephants, which the king of Magad has assembled from all subservient kings and brought together here. But Jarasangh himself should not be killed, since in the future he will certainly assemble another army. So Lord Krishna is considering when Jarasangh is attacking whether he should take out everyone, including Jarasangh, or just the army. He decides to just take out the army because so that Jarasangh can bring another army together. Hello, Nisha, Hare Krishna. after due consideration, Lord Krishna decided that since he had descended to the earth to destroy the demons, and since Jarasangh was so enthusiastic to bring all the demons to the Lord's front door, it was definitely more efficient to keep Jarasangh alive and busy. Hare Krishna, Nisha.
हरे कृष्णा।
कृष्णा, कैसे हो?
बिल्कुल ठीक।
चलो, गुड
आज
गुड।
कोई नहीं है।
हाँ, एक्चुअली अनिल जी की कोई फैमिली आ गई घर पे, एंड अजय भी बोला आज शायद नहीं आ सकेगा, एंड इज ट्रेवलिंग टू इंडिया नेक्स्ट कपल ऑफ वीक्स। तो या कल थे सब लोग, बट आज कोई नहीं। सो आई जस्ट स्टार्टेड। तो हम लोग कल 49th अध्याय कंप्लीट करें, एंड 49th अध्याय में अक्रूर जी हस्तिनापुर जाते हैं। हस्तिनापुर में जो कुंती मदर और अक्रूर जी के बीच का जो वार्तालाप होता है वो होता है, एंड देन अक्रूर जी धृतराष्ट्र को मैसेज देते हैं टू एक्ट इक्वली बिटवीन पांडुज एंड कौरव्स, राइट? एंड देन ही कम्स बैक टू मथुरा। मथुरा आते हैं तो कंस की जो वाइफ्स है, दे गो टू जरासंघ। जरासंघ इज देयर फादर। तो जब जरासंघ को पता चलता है कि कंस को मारा है, तो जरासंघ अटैक्स मथुरा। एंड सो जरासंघ मथुरा को अटैक कर रहा है, उसकी आर्मी आई है, and then that's what we are reading right now. So Lord Krishna and Lord Balram is going there to fight, and Lord Krishna is thinking whether to kill the whole army along with Jarasangh or just kill the army. So then he decides to just kill the army so that all the demons can be removed from the earth, because he will get all the other remaining demons as well. So that's what we are reading right now. So yeah.
पढ़ू। एतद् एतदर्थो अवतारयो अयं भूभारहरणाय मे संरक्षणाय साधूनां कृतोन्नेषां वधाय च। This is the purpose of my present incarnation, to relieve the earth from its burden, protect the pious and kill the impious. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. This is what Lord Shri Krishna is thinking, that why he has appeared, his incarnation, avatar, because he wants to bhu bhar haranaya. Yeah, the bhar of this bhu, earth, is to be relieved, and then sarangshanai sadhunam. Yeah, we also read this in Bhagavad Gita, and so protect the pious sadhu log and krito annesham vadaiche, and kill the impious. That's why Lord Krishna has appeared. Yeah. Hare Krishna, Tarun.
Hare Krishna Gajan, Hare Krishna Nisha ji.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So what we are reading is Jarasangh has now attacked Mathura, as we are reading yesterday, and Lord Krishna and Lord Balram are going to fight them. And Lord Krishna is thinking he has appeared to relieve the earth of the burden of the impious, and then and protect the pious. Yeah. Sarangshanai sadhunam. So, Shlok 10, Tarun.
Anyopi dharma rakshasi dehe sambriyate maya viramaya yape adharmasya kale prabhavata kvachit. I also assume other bodies to protect religion and to end irreligion whenever it flourishes in the course of time. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Evam dhyayati Govinda akashat surya varchaso yathavupastito shadaha sasuto sa parichado. Sukdev Goswami continued, as Lord Govind was thinking in this way, two chariots as effulgent as the sun suddenly descended from the sky. They were complete with drivers and equipment. Yeah. So on the battlefield, he was thinking, and then Srila Jiv Goswami and Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti agree that the chariots came down from the lords on aboard Vaikuntha-lok, the kingdom of God. The faithful devotees of the Lord derive tremendous pleasure by observing the Lord's incomparable technology. Nisha?
आयुधानि च दिव्यानि पुराणानि यदृच्छया दृष्ट्वा तानि ऋषिकेशः सङ्कर्षणमथाब्रवीत्. The Lord's eternal divine weapons also appeared before him spontaneously. Seeing this, Sri Krishna, Lord of the senses, addressed Lord Sankarshan. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So also the divine weapons came through, and Lord Sankarshan, who is Lord Sankarshan?
Balram's
Lord Balram, right? So Lord Balram and Lord Krishna are the ones fighting with Jarasangh. Yeah. So Lord Krishna is now addressing Lord Sankarshan.
Pascharya Versanam Praptam Yaduna Tata Vrata Prabho Yeshate Rat Ayato Daita Nayanu Dhanicha Edersha hi no Janma Sadhuna Misha Shamrakrat Triyovishya Nikakham Bhume Bharya Pakuru. The Supreme Lord said, "My respected elder brother, see this danger which has beset your dependents, the Yadus, and see, dear master, how your personal chariot and favorite weapons have come before you. The purpose for which we have taken birth, my Lord, is to secure the welfare of our devotees. Please now remove from the earth the burden of these 23 armies." Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Evam samyantridaashaho danshito ratino purat nirjagamatuha swayudhadyo bale nalyapya savrito. After Lord Krishna had thus invited his brother, the two Dasaras, Krishna and Balram, wearing armor and displaying their resplendent weapons, drove out of the city in their chariots. Only a very small contingent of soldiers accompanied them. Yeah. So because they surrounded the city, and Lord Shri Krishna and Lord Balram now going out of the city to fight them.
Shankha Dadmo Vinirgatya Harirdarukasarathihi Tatho Abhuta Parasenyanam Radhi Vitras Vepathu. As Lord Krishna came out of the city with Daruka at the reins of his chariot, he blew his conch shell, and the enemy soldiers' hearts began to tremble with fear. Hare Krishna.
Tatvaha Magadyo Vikshya He Krishna Purushadham Dham Natvya Vya Yodha Du Mischayami Bale ne kan lajya Guptena hi tvya mandahya na yostyo yasya yahi bandhuhanam. Jarasangha looked at the two of them and said, "O Krishna, lowest of men, I do not wish to fight alone with you, since it would be a shame to fight with a mere boy. You fool who keep yourself hidden, O murderer of your relatives, go away. I will not fight with you." Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Nice purport. Let's read this, Nisha.
Srila Sridhar Swami has interpreted Jarasandha's words as follow. Purushadhama can be understood as Purush, Adhama, Yasmat, meaning Krishna, to whom all men are inferior. In other words, here Lord Krishna is being addressed as O Purushottam, best of living beings. Similarly, the word Guptena, hidden, indicates Lord Krishna's aspects of being in everyone's heart and invisible to material vision. The words Tavya Manda can also be divided according to Sanskrit grammar as Tavya Amanda. In this case, Jarasandh is indicating the Krishna is not foolish but rather most alert. The word Bandhu was used by Jarasandh in the sense of relative. Since Lord Krishna killed his maternal uncle Kansa, however, Bandhu comes from the word bandh, to bind, and therefore Bandhu can be understood as one who destroys the bondage of ignorance. Similarly, the word yahi, please go, indicates that Lord Krishna should approach the living beings and bless them to become Krishna conscious. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. तव राम यदि श्रद्धा युध्यश्व धैर्यं मुदः हित्वा वामच्चरे क्षीणं देहं सर्वयाहि मां जहि. You, Ram, should gather your courage and fight with me. If you think you can do it, you may either give up your body when it's cut to pieces by my arrows and thus attain to heaven, or else kill me. So who is saying this?
Jarasandh.
Jarasangh, yeah? So Jarasangh is telling this to what? Balram. Yeah? Says here, according to Acharya Sridhar Swami, Jarasangh suspected that Lord Balram's body was indestructible. And thus, he offered what might be a more practical alternative, that Balram kill Jarasangh. Hare Krishna, Ajay.
Hare Krishna, everybody.
Hare Krishna.
Shri Bhagavan Vach Nave Shura Vikathante Darshantev Paurusham Na Grihimo Vacho Rajanna Turasya Mumurshata. The Supreme Lord said, real heroes do not simply boast, but rather show their prowess in action. We cannot take seriously the words of one who is full of anxiety and who wants to die. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So Lord Krishna is talking to Jarasangh. Isha?
Sri Shuka Uvacha Jara Sutasthavabhisutya Madhavo Mahabaloghena Baliya Sa Prunot Saseniyana Dhvaja Vaji Sarathi Suryanalo Vayurivabhra Renubhi. Sukdev Goswami said, just as the wind covers the sun with clouds or a fire with dust, the son of Jara marched toward the two descendants of Madhu and with his huge assemblage of armies surrounded them and their soldiers, chariots, flags, horses and charioteers. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. And here it says that Acharya Sridhar points out that clouds only seem to cover the sun, but the sun remains shining in the vast sky. Nor is the potency of fire affected by a thin covering of dust. Similarly, the covering of Jarasangh's military strength was only apparent. Right? Tarun?
Suparna Tala Dhwaja Chittinau Ratha Vala Shayantyo Hari Ram Mamor Gardhe Triye Puratalaka Hamvyagar Gopuram Rama Shirtaha Sammumuha Shuchatrita. The women stood in the watchtowers, palaces, and high gates of the city. When they could no longer see Krishna's and Balram's chariots, identified by banners marked with the emblems of Garuda and a palm tree, they were struck with grief and fainted. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Ajay?
Hari Parani Kapiyo Mancha Muha Shili Mukhyatu Labar Bavarsh Piritam Savya Sainya Malokya Surasurachita Virfujya Yakshagarsh Sharasanotamam. Seeing his army tormented by the relentless and savage rain of arrows from the massive opposing forces gathered like clouds about him, Lord Hari twanged his excellent bow, Saranga, which both gods and demons worship. Hare Krishna.
Grihananisangadad sandachyacharana Vikrishamuchana Shetabana Pugana Nirghana Rathana Kunjara Vajipattina Nirantaram Yadda Dalat Chakram. Lord Krishna took arrows from his quiver, fixed them on the bowstring, pulled back, and released endless torrents of sharp shafts, which struck the enemy's chariots, elephants, horses, and infantrymen. The Lord shooting his arrows resembled a blazing circle of fire. Yeah. So this is the war between Lord Sri Krishna and Jarasangh. Nisha?
Nirvinna kumbha karino nipetu rane kishokshva sharavrukna kandharaha ratha hatashvadhvaja sutanayakaha padayata chinna bhujo rukandharaha. Elephants fell to the ground, their foreheads split open. Cavalry horses fell with severed necks. Chariots fell with their horses, flags, drivers, and masters all shattered, and foot soldiers collapsed with severed arms, thighs, and shoulders. Hare Krishna.
Satchidhamanadvipade bhavajina Manga prasuta shatasho asipambhavaha Bhujaya purusha shirsha kachapa Atadvipadipaya griha kulaha Karorumina narakesha snevala Dhanuistaranga yuddha gulam shankulaha Achurika varta bhayanaka maha Mani praveka bharanar shamsharkara प्रवर्तिताभिरुभयावहा मृगे मनश्विना हर्षकरी परस्परम विनिघन्तारिन्मुशलेन दुर्मदा शङ्कर्षणे सेना परिमेय तेजसा बलं तदगान्नवदुर्भगैरवं दुरन्तपारं मगधेन्द्रपालितं क्षयं प्रणीतं वसुदेवपुत्रयो विक्रीडितं तज्जगदीशयो परम्. On the battlefield, hundreds of rivers of blood flowed from the limbs of the humans, elephants, and horses who had been cut to pieces. In these rivers, arms resembled snakes, human heads, turtles, dead elephants, islands, and dead horses, crocodiles, hands, thighs appeared like fish, human hair like water weeds, bows like waves, and various weapons like clumps of bushes. The rivers of blood teemed with all of these. Tarun?
Chariot wheels looked like terrifying whirlpools, and precious gems and ornaments resembled stones and gravel in the rushing red rivers, which aroused fear in the timid, joy in the wise. With the blows of his plow weapon, the immeasurably powerful Lord Balram destroyed Magadhendra's military force. And though this force was an unfathomable and fearsome as an impassable ocean, for the two sons of Vasudeva, the lords of the universe, The battle was hardly more than play. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Ajay?
स्थित्युद्ध्वान्तः भुवनत्रयस्य यः समीहितनन्तगुणः स्वलीलया न तस्य चित्रं परपक्ष निग्रह स्थतापि मर्यानुविधस्य वर्ण्यते. For him who orchestrates the creation, maintenance, and destruction of the three worlds, and who possesses unlimited spiritual qualities, it is hardly amazing that he subdues an opposing party. Still, when the Lord does so, imitating human behavior, sages glorify his acts. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. What is mentioned is Bhuvan Trayashya, right? He's the one who creates, who destroys the world. And he does all the Swalilya, right? So it's not a big deal for him. He has Samihite Ananta Gunaha, right? But still, when he does this Leela, what is mentioned is Martyanu Viddhasya. Martyani like is lok. On this lok, Manusha lok, yeah, some sadhus Viddhasya Varnate. They take pleasure in glorifying Lord Shri Krishna by reciting all these kathas. Yeah, is what is mentioned. Isha?
The philosopher the philosopher Aristotle once argued that Supreme God would hardly take part in human activities, since all ordinary activities are unworthy of such a divine being. Similarly, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti, who almost certainly never read the works of Aristotle, raised a similar point. Since Sri Krishna creates, maintains, annihilates the entire universe, isn't it an uninteresting mismatch when he fights against Jarasandha? The answer is as follows. The Lord plays the part of a human being, and expanding his pleasure potential creates thrilling transcendental pastimes full of suspense and dynamic action. By the Lord's Yogamaya potential, he appears exactly like a human being, and thus we may enjoy the spectacle of the Supreme Person acting on the earthly stage. Undoubtedly, stubborn agnostics will argue that since Krishna is God, there is no real suspense involved. Such skeptics simply do not understand Krishna's attractive potential, beauty, and drama, even on the material stage. Possesses their own fascinating logic, and similarly, we love Krishna for his own sake. We appreciate his beauty for its own sake, and we enjoy Krishna's pastimes because they are in fact wonderful and in and of themselves. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Tarun?
In fact, Krishna executes his pastimes not for a mundane, egotistical purpose, but for our pleasure. Thus, the presentation of spiritual pastimes is itself an act of love that Krishna performs for the infinite spiritual happiness of pure-hearted souls who have transcendented material envy of the Godhead. In this regard, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti quotes an important verse from the Gopal Tapani Upanishad. Narakriti Parabrahma Karana Manusa, the supreme absolute truth, for his own purpose, appears in human-like form, although he is the source of everything. Similarly, in the Srimad Bhagavatam 10.14.32, we find Yan Mitram Paramanandam Purnam Brahma Sanatanam. The source of transcendental bliss, the eternal Supreme Brahman, has become their friend. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare.
जग्राह विरहम विरथम रामो जरासंधम महाबलम हतना हतानि काविष्टा सुम सिंह सिंह मिवोजसा. Jarasandh with his chariot lost and all his soldiers dead was left with only his breath. At that point, Lord Balram forcibly seized the powerful warrior just as one lion takes hold of another. Hare Krishna.
बद्यमानं हतारात्रि पाशे वारुण मानुष्ये वार्यामास गोविंद स्तेन कार्य चिकीर्षया. With the divine nose of Varun and other mortal ropes, Balram began tying up Jarasandh, who had killed so many foes. But Lord Govind still had a purpose to fulfill through Jarasandh, and thus he asked Balram to stop. Nisha?
समुक्तो लोकनाथाभ्यां व्रीडितो वीरसम्मतः तपसे कृतसङ्कल्पो वारितः पथि राजभिः वाक्यैः पवित्रार्थपदैर्नयनैः प्राकृतैरपि स्वकर्मबन्धप्राप्तोऽयं यदुभीस्ते पराभवः. Jarasandh, whom fighters had highly honored, was ashamed after being released by the two lords of the universe, and thus he decided to undergo penances. On the road, however, several kings convinced him with both spiritual wisdom and mundane arguments that he should give up his idea on self-abnegation. They told him, "Your defeat by the Yadus was simply the unavoidable reaction of your past karma." Hare Krishna.
हतेषु सर्वानिकेषु नृका बाहर्दस्तधा उपेक्षितो भगवता मग्धानं दुर्मना ययो. All of his armies having been killed and himself neglected by the personnel of Godhead, King Jarasandha, son of Bhadrarata, then sadly returned to the kingdom of the Magadhas. Hare Krishna.
मुकुंदोऽप्यक्षत बलो निस्तीर्णानिर्बलार्णवः विकीर्यमाणः कुसुमे स्त्री दशेरु अनुमोदितः माथुरेरूपसंगम्य विच्चरेर्मुदितात्मभिः उपगीयमान विजयः सूत मागधव वन्दिभिः. Lord Mukund had crossed the ocean of his enemy's armies with his own military force completely intact. He received congratulations from the denizens of heaven, who showered him with flowers. The people of Mathura, relieved of their feverish anxiety and filled with joy, came out to meet him as professional bards, heralds, and panegyrists sang in praise of his victory. Ajay?
शंखं दुदुम्भयो नेदुभरी तूर्याण्य नकेशः वीणा वेणु मृदंगानि पुरं प्रविशति प्रभो सिक्तमार्गा हष्टजना पताक भिरभ्यलंकृतां निर्घृष्टां ब्रह्मघोषेण कौतुकाबद्धतो नृणाम्. As Lord entered his city, conch shells and kettle drums sounded, and many drums, horns, venas and flutes, and mridangas played in concert. The boulevards were sprinkled with water. There were banners everywhere, and the gateway were decorated for the celebration. The citizens were elated, and the city resounded with the chanting of Vedic hymns. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Nisha?
निचीयमानो नारी धीर्माल्य दध्य दध्यक्षता अंकुरैर निरीक्षमाणः सस्नेहं कलितलोचने. As the women of the city affectionately looked at the Lord, their eyes wide open with love, they scattered flower garlands, yogurt, parched rice, and newly grown sprouts upon him. Hare Krishna.
Oh.
Ayodhana gatam vitam nantam anantam veerbhushanam yadyu rajaya tata sarvamahatam pradishat prabhuha. Can you scroll up, please? Lord Krishna then presented to the Yadu king all the wealth that had fallen on the battlefield, namely the countless ornaments of the dead warriors. Hare Krishna.
Okay.
Yeah. एवं सप्तदश कृत्व स्तावक्ष क्षौहिणी बलः युयुधे मागधो राजा यदुभिः कृष्ण पालितैः. 17 times the king of Magadha met defeat in this very way, and yet throughout these defeats he fought on with his Akshauhini divisions against the forces of the Yadu dynasty who were protected by Sri Krishna. Hare Krishna.
So the defeat Jarasangh 17 times. Yeah. It says Evam Saptadash Kritvasta. Yeah. Shohini Balaha. So they defeat him 17 times. And yeah, of course, Krishna Palite hai. Mathura Nagari is protected by Lord Shri Krishna. Akshinam stadaram sarva Krishnaya Krishna Tejasa Ateshu Sveshwanikeshu Tyakto Agadharibhir Napa. By the power of Lord Krishna, the Vrishnis would invariably annihilate all of Jarasangh's forces. And when all his soldiers had been killed, the king, released by his enemies, would again go away. Yeah. So this went on 17 times. 17 times Lord Krishna and Lord Balram beat Jarasangh. Yeah. You Prem on iPhone or Shiva Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji, I'm on iPhone, but
Okay.
I'm like, driving Prabhuji, so I'm just listening today.
Okay, no worries. Yeah, that's fine. So, Nisha?
अष्टादशं संग्राम आगमिनी तदंतरा नारद प्रेषितो वीरो यवनः प्रत्यदृश्यत. Just as the 18th battle was about to take place, the barbarian warrior named Kalyavan, sent by Narad, appeared on the battlefield. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, what has happened so far? 17th times Jarasangh comes, Lord Shri Krishna and Balram kills his whole army, he goes back, again brings another army. Yeah? But now when the 18th time the Yuddha was to start, like Ashtadash 18th, yeah, Sangram. Then what happens is, there is someone sent by Narad Muni. His name is Kal Yavan. Yeah, says here Kal Yavan. Yeah, he's another barrier and he appears on the battlefield. So before the Jarasangh comes on 18th time, there is a warrior called Kal Yavan. He appears on the battlefield and he's sent by none other than Narad Muni. Yeah. Tarun?
Rurodha Madhura Metye Tisbir Malecha Kodibi Nirloke Kapradidvandyo Vrishnin Suvatma Sammitan. Arriving at Mathura, this Yavana laid siege to the city with 30 million barbarian soldiers. He had never found a human rival worth fighting, but he had heard that the Vrishnis were his equals. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So he is a person called Kal Yavan, and he has an army of 30 million soldiers. And there is no human rival who has even fought with him, right? But then he thought Vrishnis, Yadus are equal to him, so he comes to fight. That's how Lord the Narad Muni encourages him to come down. Ajay?
Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti quotes from the Vishnu Puran concerning the history of Kalayavana. Once Gargya was ridiculed by his brother-in-law as a eunuch, and when the Yadavas heard this, they laughed heartily. Infuriated by their laughter, Gargya sent out for the south, thinking, "May I have a son who will bring terror to the Yadavas." He worshipped Lord Mahadev, eating powdered iron, and after 12 years obtained his desired benediction. Elated, he returned home. Later, when the childless king of Yavanas requested a son from him, Gargya begot in the Yavana's wife a son, Kalayavan. Kalayavan proposes the fury of Lord Shiva in his aspect as Mahakal. Once Kalayavan asked Narad, "Who are now the strongest kings on the earth?" Narad replied, "On the Yadus, that the Yadus were." Thus sent by Narada, Kalayavan appeared at Mathura. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So there is a history of Kal Yavan, yeah, and Kal Yavan.
okay.
Yeah. So Kal Yavan sent by Narad Muni, but he has a history of like to take some revenge from the Yadavs. Yeah, is what is mentioned. Tam drishta chintyata Krishna sankarshan sahayavan aho yadunam vrijnam praptam riyu bhayato mahat. When Lord Krishna and Lord Sankarshan saw Kal Yavan, Krishna thought about the situation and said, "Hey, a great danger now threatens the Yadus from two sides." Yeah, from two sides, because one side Kal Yavan is attacking, another side he is expecting Jarasangh to attack. Yeah. He says that we may note here that although Sri Krishna had defeated Jarasangh 17 times against tremendous odds, he did not immediately annihilate the army of Kal Yavan, thus keeping intact the benediction granted to Gargya by Lord Shiva as explained in the previous purport. Yeah. So why did Lord Krishna did not kill Kal Yavan right away? Because Kal Yavan had the boon, the benediction granted by Lord Shiva himself. Yeah, because if you remember, we read Gargya did lot of tapasya of Lord Shiva And then Mahadev gave him a boon of a son who can fight with the Yadavs. Yeah, that's what Kal Yavan is. Okay. Nisha?
यवनो अयं निरुन्धे अस्मानद्य तावन्महाबलः मागधोऽप्यद्य वाश्वो वा परश्वो वागमिष्यति. This Yavan is besieging us already, and the mighty king of Magad will soon arrive here. If not today, then tomorrow or the next day. Hare Krishna.
Avyo युध्यय तोरस्य यदा गन्ता जरासुधः बन्धूना हनिष्यत्यदया नेष्यते सपुरं बलि. If powerful Jarasandha comes while we two are busy fighting Kalayavana, Jarasandha may kill our relatives or else take them away to his capital. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. What Lord Krishna is thinking is if you are fighting with Kalyavan, on the other side, Jarasangh may come and then fight with their relatives. Ajay?
तस्मादद्य विधास्यमो दुर्ग द्विपद दुर्गमम् तत्र ज्ञातीन् समाधाय यवनं घातयामहे. Therefore, we will immediately construct a fortress that no human force can penetrate. Let us settle our family members there and then kill the barbarian king. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so here Lord Shri Krishna is thinking to construct something else. Yeah, that's when the Dwarika is created. Yeah, that's the katha which we are reading right now. Iti sammantre bhagwan durga dvadasha yojinam antah samudre nagaram kirtishna adbhutam chikarat. After thus discussing the matter with Balram, the Supreme Personality of Godhead had a fortress 12 yojans in circumference built within the sea. Inside that fort, he had a city built containing all kinds of wonderful things. So entire city of Dwarka being built in a night, in one night. Yeah, think about that. And the city existed is, we know that now, right? With NASA's images, you see that Dwarka was existing there. Nisha?
दृश्यते यत्र हि त्वाष्ट्रं विज्ञानं शिल्पणे पुनं रथ्याच त्वर विधिभिर्यथा वास्तु विनिर्मितं सूरद्रुमलतोद्यान विचित्रोपवनान्वितं हेमशृङ्गैर्दिविस्पृग्भिः स्फटिकाट्टालगोपुरे राजतारकुटेः कौष्टैर्हमकुम्भैरलङ्कृतैः रत्नकुतैर्गृहे हमेर्महामारकतस्थलैः वास्तोष्पतीनां च गृहैर्वल्लभिश्च निर्मितं चातुर्वर्ण्यजनाकीर्णं यदुदेव गुहोल्लसत्. In the construction of the city could be seen the full scientific knowledge and architectural skill of Vishwakarma. There were wide avenues, commercial roads, courtyards laid out, and ample plots of land. There were splendid parks and also gardens stocked with trees and creepers from the heavenly planets. The gateway towers were topped with golden turrets touching the sky, and their upper levels were fashioned of the crystal quartz. The gold-covered houses were adorned in front with golden pots, and on the top with jeweled roofs, and their floors were inlaid with precious emeralds. Besides the house stood treasury buildings, warehouses, and stables for fine horses, all built of silver and brass. Each residence had a watchtower and also a temple for its household deity. Filled with citizens of all four social orders, the city was specially beautified by the palaces of Sri Krishna, the Lord of Yadus. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so see, what is being described is how Dwarika was constructed. Yeah, constructed by Vishwakarma architecture, and as you can see in the descriptions, everything was created. Hare Krishna, Reena ji.
हरे कृष्ण भैया सुधर्मां पारिजातं च महेन्द्रः प्राहिणोद्धरे यत्र चावस्थितो मर्त्यो मर्त्यर्धर्मे न युज्यते. Lord Indra brought Sri Krishna the Sudharma assembly hall, standing within which a mortal man is not subject to the laws of mortality. Indra also gave the Parijat tree. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so in Dwarika, a lot of demigods and everyone gave different gifts. Yeah.
श्यामेक वर्णन वरुणो हयान शुक्लान मनोजवन अस्त्यो निधि पति कोशन लोकपालो निलोधयन. Lord Varuna offered horses as swift as the mind, some of which were pure dark blue, others white. The treasurer of the demigods, Kuvera, gave his 8 mystic treasures, and the rulers of various planets each presented their own opulences. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Ajay?
Yeah. Srila Sridhar Swami comments as follows on this verse. The master of the treasury is Kuver, and the 8 treasures are then his nidhis. They are described as follows. Padmas Chaiv Mahapadmo Matsya Karmao Tathodakah Nilo Mukunda Sankhs Cha Nidheu Stoparik Prakrtika. The 8 mystic treasures are called Padma, Mahapadma, Matsya, Karma, Odaka, Nil, Mukund, and Sanikha. Hare Krishna. Sankh. Hare Krishna.
Vinod, पढ़ेंगे?
यद यद भगवता तत्माधिपत्यम स्वसिद्धये सर्वं प्रत्यपर्यामासुरो भूमिगते नृप. The Supreme Lord, having come to the earth, O King, these demigods now offered him whatever powers of control he had previously delegated to them for the exercise of their particular authority. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. तत्र योग प्रभावेन नीत्वा सर्वजनं हरि प्रजापालेन रामेण कृष्ण सम्मुमन्त्रितः निर्जिगां पुरद्वारात् पद्ममाली निरायुधः. After transporting all his subjects to the new city by the power of his mystic Yog Maya, Lord Krishna consulted with Lord Balram, who had remained in Mathura to protect it. Then, wearing a garland of lotuses, but bearing no weapons, Lord Krishna went out of Mathura by its main gate. So what is mentioned is, so first what happens is, Jarasangh attacks Mathura because, why does Jarasangh attack Mathura?
To take the revenge for Kansa.
Right. And who is Kans? What is the relation of Kans with Jarasangh?
Father-in-law?
So Kansa's wife's father. Yeah. So Jarasangh was that. So Kansa's wife then goes back to Jarasangh. So Jarasangh tries to take the revenge. He attacks Mathura 17 times. Lord Krishna does not want to kill Jarasangh. He cleans out the army. And when 18th time he is about to attack, a new Yodha called Kal Yavan comes, sent by Narad, right? And Kal Yavan had some earlier grudge against Yadavs. So he appears, and so when they both wants to attack, Lord Krishna decides to move out of Mathura. Yeah, is what we just read was, Lord Krishna thinks that we should not fight both the armies, and also there was a blessings given to Kal Yavan's father by Lord Mahadev. So Lord Krishna didn't want to kill him. Yeah. So instead of that, what he does, he creates a new city overnight, Dwarika. Yeah. And then not only creates the city, what is mentioned is after transporting all his subjects to the new city. Like everyone, like the entire population is also transported to the new place on the same night, right? How is that done? By his Yog Maya. Yeah, the so-called Bhagwan, today's Bhagwan, they cannot do all this, right? But Lord Krishna transported all of them to the new city. And then the wearing a garland of lotuses, but bearing no weapons, Lord Krishna went out of Mathura by its main gate. So Lord Krishna then wants to starts going out of that. Yeah. So read this, Vinodji.
Lila Vishwanath Chakravarti quotes the following verses from Sri Padma Puran, Uttarakhand, to describe how Lord Krishna transferred the citizens from Mathura to Dwarka. Susuptan Mathurayantu Paurams Tatra Janardana Yudhartya Sahas Ratrau Dwarkayam Nya Prabhu Dhuste Janah Sarve Putradara Samanvita Hema Harimya Tale Vista Vishmayam Paramam Vahya. In the middle of the night, as the citizens of Mathura slept, Lord Janardhan suddenly removed them from that city and placed them in Dwarika. When the men awoke, they were all amazed to find themselves, their children, and their wives sitting inside palaces made of gold. Thus end the purpose of the humble servant of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, to the 10th canto, 50th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Krishna Establishes the City of Dwarika. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Bolo Srimad Bhagavatam ki
Jai.
Jai.
we completed the 50th adhyaya of 10th canto today. Yeah. So I think we'll pause here and then we'll continue reading the 51st chapter, which is about the deliverance of Chukandar. Yeah. So we'll hear a nice kirtan for 5 minutes. So let's hear that. So this is a kirtan which was led in Mayapur. Yeah. It's a long kirtan, but we'll hear for 5 to 6 minutes.
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Krishna Singh Bhagwan ki jai.
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 Hare Krishna Bhagwan ki
Jai.
right. So beautiful kirtan. This was at Mayapur temple. Yeah, in West Bengal, Mayapur, where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was born. There's a beautiful temple. Actually, now the temple is huge. And now with BJP government, hopefully in West Bengal, we can see some development of the roads. to go there. So if you go towards that side, it's worth visiting the Mayapur temple. And I mean, it's really nice. So that was good. And then we have a kirtan at our place on August 1st, Saturday. Yeah?
Yep, the big one.
Yeah, that's a yearly kirtan on 1st August, Saturday. We'll start at 4 o'clock. And then we'll keep going till 9:30.
Yep, we'll be there. Yep.
Yeah, so Vinodji, please be there. Then Ajay, I know you are in India that day.
Yeah.
I'm going to miss you.
Mm.
Shiva Prabhu, you are in Charlotte. Please join us. Shiva Prabhu, can you hear?
But I will be back on Friday and Saturday. This time I'll try my best, Prabhuji, to attend your program.
Definitely come over. We'll have the whole youth gang from ISKCON temple. All the youth gangs, Nishant Prabhu and everyone to sing.
Hare Krishna.
It'll be nice fun. And Nisha, what's your plan?
We'll try to come.
तरुण भी न्यू जर्सी में है, आप भी न्यू जर्सी में हो. Just come over, तरुण यार अभी तो वेडिंग भी हो गई है.
बताता हूँ मैं.
हाँ, आ जाओ. It'll be fun. 1st August को है, Saturday को. Yeah. So we'll do that kirtan. We'll have a nice mridangas and harmoniums and all that. Be nice. Nisha has been there once. Yeah.
Nice.
So I'm sure पुरुषोत्तम खुद भगवान है वो पुरुषोत्तम, लेकिन फिर भी आ जाए. हाँ, बोल दो उनको.
प्रभु आ जाएंगे आपके पास. वो ज्यादा चांस है.
Yeah. It'll be nice. We'll see you. And then, of course, we'll meet on Monday, next Monday at 9 p.m. Yeah?
Thank you for the invitation and thanks for conducting this.
Yeah. And try, Tarun, try your best. Yeah. Yeah, Nisha, you too. Yeah? And Shiva Prabhu will definitely see you. Yeah? And Vinodji, आप चीनू को लेके आना with his instruments.
I will check, Bhaiya. If he's working, then he will have to go. But if he's not working, then yeah, definitely.
Whatever time works for him. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. I'll ask him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.